environment for spring break.
Don't be foolish. Don't come here if you think this is an anything goes environment. We will arrest you. We will ruin your time here.
On the streets and sand, 400 officers enforcing the rules, from no alcohol on the beach to a ban on loud music.
People end up drinking too much, and then they act in ways that they shouldn't. So we want to prevent that.
Farther north in Broward County, in popular Fort Lauderdale, a controversial midnight curfew for spring break remains possible.
So in terms of a curfew, definitely as a last resort for a limited time, as limited as possible.
As a region that thrives on hospitality and has lost billions to COVID, looks to stay safe while staying afloat.
I can speak for all the restaurants around here. We want to capitalize as much as we can on the guests coming in, especially since this is the time we make our money.
11Alive News at noon starts now.
COVID-19 cases are declining across the country, but now fears of another surge. When health experts are predicting a spike and how the White House is preparing. A new study showing the majority of people who get sick from the virus have at least one lingering symptom. For many, it's debilitating. How one local clinic is helping patients recover. But first, a man charged with concealing the death of a 16-year-old girl is in court, about to face a judge. Details on this case have been slow to surface, but now we have a bit more information. A just-released warrant requested by Johns Creek Police offering new insight into what allegedly happened the night Carly Jackson died. Tracy A. McPierre joining us live from outside the Fulton County Courthouse with more details. Tracy?
Well, this is the first court appearance for Sean Salim, who turned himself in yesterday. Now, police say the 25-year-old from Duluth is charged with concealing a death and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. According to an arrest warrant, Carly Jackson's friend told police she and Jackson had been partying with Salim and doing drugs at an apartment on February 13th. The friend allegedly told police she went to sleep, and when she woke up, Jackson was unresponsive and cold to the touch. According to the warrant, the friend said she alerted Salim, and he told her she had been like that for hours, but he had not called 911 because of the drugs. She allegedly told police he then moved Jackson's body from the apartment to a breezeway and instructed her to tell police Jackson had died there. Now, we are still waiting for today's hearing to start. Once it does, we will bring you what happens here on 11Alive and 11alive.com.
Tracy, thank you. And this just in, a favorable review for Johnson & Johnson's single-shot COVID vaccine just 2 days before an FDA advisory panel votes on whether to recommend it for emergency use. Documents released by the FDA today confirm the vaccine is safe and 86% effective against severe cases of the virus, about 66% effective at preventing moderate to severe COVID-19. If the panel of experts votes yes on Friday, the FDA could approve J&J's vaccine for emergency use in the U.S. within days. Supplies are not expected to get a boost right away. Only a few million doses should be ready in the first week. Turning now to students and the classroom amid this ongoing pandemic. DeKalb County Schools, one of a handful of districts in the metro where students have stayed entirely virtual since last March. And now the state's third largest school district is announcing plans to welcome back students, but in stages. Phase 1 already began. Teachers returned to the classroom earlier this month. Phase 2 begins Tuesday, March 9th. Students pre-K through 2nd, 6th and 9th graders will return. This is for those who chose the in-person option. Phase 3 begins Monday, March 15th and includes students in 3rd through 5th, 7th and 8th and grades 10 through 12th. In order to safely social distance in the classroom, students will be split into 2 groups based on last name or program. It is being called a hybrid program. More than 14,700 lives lost so far to the virus in Georgia. A sea of white flags is now sitting outside First Christian Church of Decatur to remember them. Volunteers working to neatly place them along the grass yesterday, a somber reminder that this pandemic is not over. Meanwhile, infections in our state are now back up to the levels we saw last week following several days of declines. Just within the past week alone, nearly 600 Georgians have lost their lives to the virus. Among them, a 14-year-old girl from Gwinnett County. We don't know much about her death other than what's on the Department of Health website, but she is listed as having an underlying health condition. And among the 10 total deaths reported in our state among children 17 years of age and under. All right, in just 2 hours now, the governor making another stop on his vaccination site tour. The governor, along with other state officials, will visit Fulton County's new mass vaccination site at the Delta Air Museum in Hapeville. Georgia's Department of Health Commissioner Dr. Kathleen Toomey, along with Delta's CEO, will join him for a walkthrough of the site. This is happening at 2 o'clock. This is one of 4 sites that opened up on Monday. So far, Georgia has vaccinated more than 1.7 million people. DeKalb County resuming its administering its second doses of the Moderna vaccine today. This comes after shipments were delayed due to winter weather across the nation. So if your appointment last week was canceled, the county is asking you to go at the same time and same day this week. So if you were scheduled to get your shot at noon last Thursday, go at noon tomorrow. One exception, if you had an appointment at the BrandsMart location, it has now been moved to the Doraville MARTA site. That's the new location. And as of today, you'll be able to get a vaccine at some Walgreens locations in Georgia. The pharmacy says it was given just under 26,000 doses to distribute across the state. If you're eligible for the shot, you can schedule your appointment online. You will not be able to walk up. Earlier this week, the U.S. marked a grim milestone, more than 500,000 lives lost to COVID-19. And as health experts project, new variants may fuel a spring surge. The federal government says it's doing what it can with talk of mailing masks to limit the spread. Let's turn it over to Chesley now with your weather.
All right, 12:06, and it's warming up out there already. You know, we started out with temperatures in the 20s and in the 30s. We did have a 20-degree reading up to the far north, but we had 30s and 40s out there this morning, and now starting to see things heat up as the sun is now high in the sky, and we have beautiful blue sky out there. Brilliant sunshine is what I like to call it. And this is Noonan, downtown Noonan, looking pretty good. Folks getting out and about, maybe going to get a sandwich for this afternoon. What I need. It's what I need. Notice throughout the southeast looks pretty good. Pretty good. Here's those temperatures, 62 degrees right now in Duluth. Down near Noonan, Peachtree City, you're looking at 67, 68 right now in the city of Atlanta. Right on point there. 67 degrees in Atlanta, and in Covington. Marietta, what am I thinking about? 66, that sandwich, that's what I'm thinking about. 66 in Rome, 68 degrees up toward Dalton at the current hour. Here's your forecast for today. Now, we told you it would get up to in the 70s for today. 72 degrees will be our afternoon high temperature, well above our average for this time of year. I like to call bonus days. Bonus days. Yes, indeed. We'll drop down to 65 degrees with clear skies tonight, going back down to the 40s for overnight lows. Tomorrow, we'll have a few extra clouds moving into the forecast area, but it's going to remain warm, and we will get decent amounts of sunshine. But then the rain comes to us by Friday. Going to detail that outlook for you in the full forecast coming up. Sheba going to join me for a sandwich.
Yeah, you're making me hungry. My stomach rumbling. All right, early voting beginning today in DeKalb County for a special runoff election for the House District 90 seat. It includes parts of DeKalb, Henry, and Rockdale counties. 2 Democratic candidates, Stan Watson and Angela Moore, are in a runoff for this seat. It was previously held by Democrat Pam Stevenson since 2005, and she resigned back in September. The polls opened in DeKalb earlier this morning. They close at 4:30 p.m. Advance voting ends on March 5th. The runoff is March 9th. Crews are still working to dismantle a teetering crane in Midtown. Today is day 6 since it became unstable, forcing West Peachtree Road between 10th and 14th to close. Businesses and residents to evacuate. It is expected to take until the end of the week, about Friday, to get all the equipment cleared and allow residents and businesses to move back in. The Southern Baptist Convention has ousted a church in Kennesaw for what they say is being too inclusive of the LGBTQ community. Townview Baptist Church has been disfellowshipped following a decision at an executive committee meeting. In all, the committee deciding to disfellowship 4 churches, 2 for policies that it says are too inclusive of those in the LGBTQ community, and 2 more for employing pastors convicted of sex offenses. Golf legend Tiger Woods is awake and recovering from surgery following a serious car crash outside Los Angeles. That's according to a statement posted on his official Twitter account shortly after midnight this morning. Woods suffering leg injuries and had to get a rod put into his right leg during an emergency surgery yesterday. Rescuers say his SUV struck a sign, crossed a median before going down an embankment, flipping several times. Doctors say the 15-time major champion faces a tough road to recovery. Apparently, it was his seatbelt that saved his life. Cold and flu season peak in the winter, but why do viruses tend to thrive when the temperatures drop? Our Y Guy explains.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. The storm trackers, only on 11Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun.
Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Y Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none.
The cold of winter is a challenge for most living things, but viruses thrive when the temperature drops. Flu season always falls during the winter, and COVID cases in the U.S. peaked in January. But why? Here's our Y Guy to explain.
While you're bundled up next to your trusty space heater, a whole host of viruses are living it up. Plants wilt, bugs go into hiding, but many viruses thrive during the winter months. It's the subject of intense study as scientists search for reasons why, and we're going to share some of what they've learned. In the South, the saying each summer is, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. For viruses, it's the cold of winter and the humidity.
In the winter months, we have the humidity going down, and the viruses will, remain viable longer up to a certain point.
Ultraviolet light can damage a virus. In the winter, the sun's UV power is weakened. We also spend more time indoors during the winter, where viruses have an easier time spreading. Dr. Mark Tompkins of the University of Georgia Center for Vaccines and Immunology tells us while there's no scientific proof, the cold may impact the outer shell of viruses like influenza and the coronavirus.
As you reduce the temperature, that does, it moves the lipids move less, so maybe it does stabilize the virus.
It's not like viruses disappear during the warmer months. The H1N1 swine flu thrived during the summer of 2009. Coronavirus cases were on the increase in the United States last July and August. Dr. Tompkins says it has more to do with the number of people who are either vulnerable or spreading illness. He has this to say about our battle with COVID when this spring and summer arrive.
If we don't vaccinate well and we don't control the infection, then we will see it stay, maybe at a lower level, but it's not going to go away.
When it's time to trade that jacket for a swimsuit, it doesn't mean it's time to put the mask away.
All right, we are looking at beautiful weather for today. Very, very nice on the outside. I tell you what, I can't wait. Perhaps yesterday you saw the weather and you thought, man, this is nice enough. You know what? I'll get the hog out. Yeah. You want to do some little maintenance on it. You had it away for the winter. Take the cover off of it. Rev it up a couple times, and then you're ready to go, right? Ready to go. So that's what some may be doing this afternoon. It may get loud on us this afternoon, and some folks take the motorcycles out. Looking at 72 degrees for the afternoon high temperature. Nice and warm this afternoon. Spring-like is what we're calling it, folks. A little early taste of it, but you know what that means as well. The pollen starts to go up just a little bit. Not nearly as high as what we're going to see, but has been in high category for the last 2 days. We're looking at that extremely high, right? Once we get in there and we start to see those consistent days of temperatures in the 60s and 70s and eventually getting closer to the 80s, yes, when it starts to get a little bit more miserable. But today, enjoyable. Low humidity around as well. Plenty of sunshine. Brilliant sky is what I like to call it. Temperatures are in the 60s, well into the 60s in Atlanta and Covington. You're at 68 also over toward Edenton. You're right at 70. In Thomaston, first this afternoon to hit it, but 71 degrees over toward Athens. Look at that. Still in the 50s up here in Clayton, which started out warmer. Started out in the 40s up here, but only at 59 degrees this afternoon. 67 in Marietta, 65 degrees over in Carrollton at the current tower. Wizometer is how we rate your weather on a scale from 1 to 11, with 11 being the most perfect day we can have for this time of year. 72, again, your high temperature under mostly sunny skies today. This is what we like to call perfect, again, on the Wizometer. Our temperatures normally would be around the upper 50s, maybe around 58, 59 degrees. So this is a bonus day for us. Enjoy it. Changes are coming, of course. Doesn't always last, not for a very long time anyway. We live here in Atlanta. You're looking at the clouds building back off to the west of us. Nothing much here. It's going to remain that way as high pressure remains just down to our south, bringing in that southerly flow, helping to boost those temperatures up just a bit. Now you can see this front up here to the north and west of us, and the clouds that are building in there. Got some of that moisture starting to build that way, and we'll start to see a few showers associated with this wave that's going to come through. Now, it will start to break up as it gets closer to us. It's a very weak system. It will move in and it will increase our clouds, but I think that won't happen until the overnight. Excuse me. So we may start off early morning with a few clouds overhead. This is by 6:45. I think even before the sun rises tomorrow, those clouds will be out of the way. We'll have mostly sunny skies for much of the day. I don't think the clouds will increase until after the sun sets. We'll start to see some clouds once we get toward the afternoon, but certainly mostly cloudy skies through the overnight going into Friday. And here comes another wave that's going to bring in a better chance for the rain. You'll notice up here to the north on Friday morning, we have some moderate showers. How far south will the front sink? That's going to be the question. Right now, it looks like it's going to hang up here to the north. So from Atlanta northward, we're looking at scattered showers off and on through the day on Friday. And then by Saturday, will it move much? We're looking at a 30% chance for the rain to continue from the same areas. Now, if it sinks a little bit further to the south, these percentages will start to go up. If it stays further north, these percentages will start to go down. So that will fluctuate a little bit. We'll watch that for you as we get closer. Until then, enjoy the sunshine for today and tomorrow. Rain, 60% chance on Friday, and remains unsettled through the weekend and into the beginning of next week. Sheba?
We need to push ourselves to get that vitamin D today. Chesley, thank you so much. NASA's Perseverance rover successfully landed on Mars, and now many are hopeful putting a man or woman on the red planet is next. Celeste Springer explains how the Medical College of Georgia could play a role.
I'm a space junkie. Taking a look around Dr. McGee Lawrence's office, you can see she's a NASA fan and an expert on bones. Lucky for her, she's been able to combine the two in her research.
What we want to know is, how does bone know that it's being mechanically loaded, and can we then alter those processes to either prevent disuse-induced bone loss or to make the bone respond better to exercise.
For those of us who don't speak in science lingo, when astronauts float through space, they aren't putting pressure on their legs, and it causes them to lose bone and muscle mass.
So with bone, they lose about 1% of their bone mineral density per month. And when you lose bone mass, that then makes you more likely to experience a bone fracture.
With all the excitement around the Mars rover landing, this research could help the first astronauts who step foot on the red planet. But for those of us Earth dwellers, this research could also help people who are bedridden or wheelchair bound.
Even somebody with a spinal cord injury, even though they may not be using their legs, they still move around, right? And you can develop a bone fracture even if you're not walking around or using those bones. You can get it from a contact injury, it could be a fall injury.
They say the impacts here go far beyond Earth, but they're hopeful it could still help those of us who choose to remain residents of this planet.
Really interesting facts there. All right, many people who've had COVID-19 are still dealing with the lingering symptoms of the virus. Still ahead, the Metro Atlanta Clinic focusing on the so-called COVID long haulers.
Aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning about new things and sharing them with you.
We make the news make sense.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
The Negro people had to leave. They were told to get out.
White only, no black!
1912, all but one issue has been erased.
We haven't had none up here since the 1st of the century.
What's the importance of making sure this history isn't erased?
So that it doesn't happen again.
Is your morning routine feeling a little routine?
Then mix it up. Morning Rush is different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
With all the energy of your morning coffee. Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic.
We're learning more about COVID-19 all the time, how it spread, how to fight it, and the effects it can have on the body weeks, even months after. Now there's a Metro Atlanta clinic focused on helping former coronavirus patients get their health back on track. Reveal investigator Rebecca Lindstrom shows us what life is like for COVID long haulers.
I don't know what I'm going to do. Caroline Wallace has 2 letters saved on her computer, written as she struggled to breathe. Because I didn't know if I was going to make it through the day or not. And so it's been scary. They are letters for her 2 boys, to Sam and Max, upon my death. Even though now she's technically COVID-free, she keeps them. I don't know if I'm going to get any better. I look forward to nighttime when I can sleep. And I hate the mornings when I have to wake up because you're in pain. And that's no way to live. 11 months after her diagnosis, this avid runner can barely walk up a hill. All I want to do is put my running shoes on and go for a run again and feel good afterwards. That runner's high, this is what I'd love to feel. Instead, she is exhausted. Her voice fades trying to talk, and the cough at the end never stops. She has spent thousands of dollars on tests and treatments that insurance wouldn't cover. One puts me on this medicine, the other one puts me on another medicine, and I feel like I'm a pharmaceutical at the end of the day, and yet nothing's really helping. So, I don't know, I'm lost. Her medical chart says she's fine. At least one doctor told her it is all in her head. I felt so dismissed and alone and crazy.
What we see with COVID.
Pulmonologist Jermaine Jackson sees that desperation every day. Studies affirm the problem. 75% of patients in a Chinese study continued to have at least one COVID-related symptom 6 months later. An Italian study found a similar trend in children.
One of the things I like to stress to the patients and reassure them that what they're experiencing is real.
The goal of Piedmont Healthcare's COVID Recovery Clinic is to build one plan of patient care from physical therapy to neurology. What do you do if all the tests that you know to lean on tell you nothing's wrong?
We're building the plane as we fly it. With each passing day, we learn more and more.
Surprisingly, Dr. Jackson says long haulers are often young, perfectly healthy, and physically fit. Many were never admitted to the ICU for COVID, let alone intubated.
It's important that we don't allow them to just fall by the wayside, that we treat it like a chronic disease process.
Emory and Wellstar Health Systems say they too have or are in the process of creating post-COVID care units. And Redmond Regional in Floyd County has an outpatient rehab program. But most hospitals are still leaving it to the individual doctors to figure out.
My hope is that we can provide a way and be pioneers for a lot of those programs that are out there that are looking to start up.
Wallace hopes those programs start soon and extend into rural areas to reach everyone in need. She says long COVID impacts everyone in the family, like her son's graduation from high school and college. Instead of celebrating, she was in bed, miserable. I have been
an absent parent during some pretty cool times. Yeah, those letters will stay on my computer until I get better.
Wallace did get an appointment with Piedmont's Long Haul Clinic, but a few days later, she canceled. In an email, she explained, "I have given up hope and am trying to learn to live and work full-time in a new way. I just can't keep up the fight and cost of it."
Just really feel for her. And 11Alive is committed to bringing you facts, not fear, about COVID-19 in Georgia and beyond. You'll find extensive coverage of the virus, the vaccine, and more on our 11Alive app and online at 11alive.com. We'll be right back.
One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Atlanta roads are my thing. ITP, OTP, Ponce, Piedmont, all the peach trees. Combined with Chesley's street level forecast, that's a lot of tech and experience to help your commute.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
We're quite the combo.
Weather changes can make or break your day. That's why the 11Alive storm trackers are always watching what's coming next, delivering accessible and accurate forecasts that prepare you, not scare you. For storm trackers, only on 11Alive.
COVID-19 is still spreading in Georgia. Now get facts, not fear, at 11alive.com/COVID numbers. Track cases by county using our interactive map and get the latest health department data. Visit 11alive.com/COVID numbers.
Health experts fear we're just at the start of another surge.
Residents here are some of the first seniors to get the vaccine.
This epidemic can come to an end.
We do have a flash flood warning that just popped up here.
The fallout of this is just beginning.
The bigger questions are the longer legal ramifications.
Morning news should be both informative and fun. Gone are the days where we're speaking at you. On Morning Rush, we're speaking with you.
So connect with us. Talk to us.
Think of it as a conversation.
Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 on 11Alive.
Quick, open your phone camera right now, aim it at the screen to download 11Alive's new and improved app. This QR code will take you to the App Store or Google Play. One simple tap gives you enhanced radar, street-level zoom, and severe weather alerts. It's just that easy.
Morning news should be informative and fun.
Yeah, and we do that here on Morning Rush with Verify, Connect the Dots, Why Guy, and more.
We love learning.
A pretty special night tonight for the Atlanta Hawks, hosting their third HBCU night at State Farm Arena. It's a night where the team honors the culture of historically black colleges and universities. Also, the team will wear their MLK City Edition uniforms with the matching court. And since fans are limited at the arena, the team will host a Zoom panel with HBCU alum and sorority and fraternity members about entrepreneurship. Tip-off against the Boston Celtics. It's at 7:30. Thank you so much for watching 11Alive News at noon, everyone. Have a great day. Get out and enjoy this fantastic weather.
Different.
It's the fast-paced news you need
With all the energy of your morning coffee. Come see the difference on Morning Rush, weekdays on 11Alive.
Weather can't run from the all-new 11Alive Thunder Truck, a mobile weather center with the power and speed to chase down the strongest storms and bring you on-the-ground conditions. The 11Alive Thunder Truck, sponsored by Landmark Dodge.
Here in Atlanta, bad weather means bad traffic. A few drops of rain could destroy a commute. But that's where my man Crash Clark comes in. I go street level,